Welcome to the Yes in the City show. I'm Cam.
I'm Naz.
And today we've got a choice cut of some of the best independence content Dunfermline has to offer.
So we are lucky enough today to be joined by Ian and Joyce Munro from the Future Voices team, who are going to tell us about a fantastic project. And welcome, Ian, Joyce, thanks for joining us today. Specifically myself and Ringo Starr over here. So, Future Voices, where did it come from? How did it come about?
Oh, well, must have been earlier this year. I was out for a walk with our younger son, talking as we do about an independent Scotland, and he said the thing that stops people from understanding about what it could be like is that nobody can actually visualise it. And we then had a little bit of a light bulb moment and thought, ooh, what could we do from this? So, over to you.
Over to me, okay. You can tell this wasn't rehearsed. So we also felt the movement was a little bit stale at that point in time, and not much was moving. Wasn't an awful lot of enthusiasm at the time. So we thought, let's just do something. Let's actually grab something by the collar, I suppose. Yeah. They said something else, and get on and have a project. Let's make this work ourselves.
Yeah.
So we got a small group together, and had some ideas about how we could do it, and settled on speaking to citizens of the future Scotland about what life was like for them.
And I think the whole premise was about showing people what it really would be like actually living in an independent Scotland.
Yeah.
Because I think, people can't visualise that, so that's what we wanted to do.
I suppose starting from that initial concept, or like the idea, the light bulb moment that you mentioned, I think we can quite relate to that. We felt as well before we started the Yes in the City show that we need to do something different, something that's a little bit more out there. And I think it's another great project from Dunfermline, the Dunfermline area, that we're all thinking outside the box. So I do remember both of you telling us about it, but at the time I didn't really understand it. Like, okay, we're going to do some videos and it's about the future, but obviously we've seen since the launch how amazing these videos are. So what happened after that? So you had the idea and then the vision and whatnot, and you mentioned you got the team together. What was the next steps for you after that?
The next step was to find out what people wanted from a future independent Scotland. So we put a poll together, got some responses from that. We put an information board up in the hub and asked people to stick their ideas up there. We read a couple of fascinating books that are kind of on the same topic. One was Sorted by Colin Wheel, and the other was Val McDermott's book, Imagine a Country.
Which is what it's about,
Yeah, and eventually we had several hundred responses of what people would like to see in a future Scotland.
So, I want to ask you two, what would you like to see in an independent Scotland? Just one thing.
To be honest with you, what I saw in the Future Voices is if Scotland was like that, that would be amazing for me. Control back of our own affairs, and just like the difficulties that people are facing just now with the cost of living and stuff like that. I just know for a fact in an independent Scotland, a lot of these problems are going to go away. It'll take time. I think there's going to be a transition period. But what do I want from an independent Scotland? I just want to leave something behind for my children personally, that that they know that the people of Scotland are governing Scotland, and the future, there is a bright future for them, because at the moment there's not really a lot to shout about,
And I think that's one of the themes that did come out quite strongly,
Very
wasn't it?
so.
About future. What about you, Cammy?
On the spot. But we just had Gordon McIntyre-Kemp on talking about well-being economics, and I think that sort of the value of well-being placed at the heart of a nation. That's probably what I would like to see, because it's so all-encompassing. In some cases it's a sort of cop-out answer, because it is so,
It covers everything.
It does, but that's the sort of, from the environmental policies that we impose, and then everything really, and it helps everyone. It helps people escape poverty. I just think that it would be a better nation, and you're right in saying it wouldn't necessarily be you, because you're old nowadays, who benefit from it.
No hope for us.
But it would be
yeah.
about for the future generations, And maybe I'm old as well. I'll class myself as that. If you're comparing me to Ringo Starr.
I think if you think about Scotland, there's a lot to twist and shout about. So, So moving on, the launch itself was fantastic. You had an amazing turnout to see the videos.
Yeah, we did. I mean, I'll maybe dial back a little bit to sitting there with around several hundred ideas, and looking at for commonality in them. There was a lot of commonality in them, and we found eventually we could distill it into 12, then down into 7 themes, and we prepared 7 clips, one on each of these broad themes.
Yeah,
a lot of overlap between them.
Yeah.
But the message throughout was, people don't want to live in the United Kingdom the way it is and the way it's going. They want a society that cares about more than just money and profit, that isn't scared of incomers, that wants fairness across society. A lot of the good old Scottish values, they were coming through very strongly.
What do you think the most bizarre request from people would have been? What do you think the most, you said that you got the public to sort of give their opinions. What do you think was probably the most extreme?
Well, funnily enough, we decided to stick with things that actually were probable rather than fantasy, but we did get a few fantasy things through, like, Scotland won the World Cup. Having said that, we're just fresh back from France, having watched Scotland beat Tonga in rugby. So they're doing well. Anyway.
You're doing well in the football as well.
Indeed. I think you've raised an important question there. I mean, we absolutely did not want to be putting things up on the screen that could be instantly dismissed as
fantasy.
That's a dream.
Yeah.
The country could never live like that, because almost everything that we've got up there is something that's been worked on at the moment, or is already in existence in other countries.
So what were remind us what the different themes of the videos were then that you had?
Let's try it between the two of us.
We had health and happiness, green and clean, prosperity, democracy.
Yes, democracy. That's what I was hoping to mean, is it? Values, national values, fairness, a fair society. Quite possibly nailed 6 out of the 7 here for another.
Imagine all the people that are going to hopefully see the videos, and they were really.
Someone's been paid by the Beatles reference.
I'm actually looking, right, for the people at home can't see this. He's got like every single Beatles song there. It's basically the White Album right there.
All you need is love. But no. Fantastic project, and I know that they're out on YouTube. You've got your own YouTube channel.
Yeah, we have our own YouTube channel, and we're releasing the clips at 1 per week. 4 are already out, and we've had something. Well, not going to be far off the 1,000 views soon of the ones that have gone out, getting up towards 100 subscribers. These things are always slow to start because we can't just fire our propaganda into the BBC and expect them to send it around Scotland. So we're very encouraged. So the YouTube channel is where the clips are going to be housed, and we're looking at getting the message out 2 different ways. Within the bubble, we've done quite an amount of work to track down the Yes movement in Scotland. There's no single source of access to the Yes movement. So we've contacted, I guess it's going to be a couple of 100 different Yes organisations, all pulling in the same direction, but not all necessarily connected.
So just to touch on that then, Ian, we've obviously known each other, just living in the same city for many number of years. You guys are not aiming future voices, it's apolitical, isn't it? It's not, you're not looking at everyone, it's for everyone as far as you guys are concerned.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's it. Go on, sorry.
No, you do it.
If I get something badly, you won't believe me, I'll pay for it later. But we set up, before we started even thinking about it as that small group we put together, we put up a set of principles, because we felt you need some guidance in this, it's such a big topic. And one of them was resolutely non-political. We would absolutely love the SNP to use our stuff, as much as we'd love ALBA to use it, the Greens, the Scottish Socialist Party. Any group is welcome to use this, because it's about an independent Scotland, which every group and political party that supports independence wants.
Yeah, that's what we've all got in common, isn't it?
Yes,
We'll
indeed.
put our political differences aside, so no, fantastic.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier as well about sort of the BBC and the fact that, like, you know, mass media isn't necessarily on the side of independence. What role do you think that your clips will serve in sort of trying to combat that slightly and sort of being able to?
Interesting, actually. One of the themes. Well, it's not one of the 7 themes, but within the clips that is referred to a few times about that we've got our own independent news channels and things. So that's something that we will have in our independent Scotland. Yeah. So.
Excellent. And what's next? I mean, I know there's a few more videos to come out, and I know from yourselves the production process was quite tough, wasn't it? And a lot of hard work that you've all put into it. Are we going to see another season of Future Voices?
Well, we're at the stage just now where we've got half of our clips up roughly, and they've been promoted, if you like, within the independence movement. Now that's a useful function if that encourages people and motivates people within the independence movement to get inspired by what future Scotland looks like. But that's not actually our main target. Our main target is to get outside the famous bubble, and to do that we have a parallel social media campaign that we're about to kick off with, where we're going to go out. We have a very good advisor who's helping us to get out on the right channels and with the right sort of clip based on our longer video clips. So that's quite exciting. That's going to start soon, and that's going to be the test. I think we want to see how that's going to go.
Yeah. Having said that, you know, even from the hundreds of ideas that we had that we burrowed down to the 7 themes, there are so many other things out there that people want to see. You know, how it would work, and we've got loads of ideas about what to do, but whether and when we do it.
Yeah.
I remember on the night, obviously you guys presented all the videos for us. We all came along to see the launch. Everybody had something to say, didn't they? It was quite an exciting night. I really enjoyed myself. And when you put the questions out to the audience, you know, feedback and stuff, I think you were quite. I like the way you were quite transparent and open. Like come on, give us your feedback and stuff like that. But such a positive energy, and people were like, right, we need to do this and we need to do that. And I felt as though people really wanted to get involved in Future Voices.
Yeah, very much so.
Videos, yeah.
Yes, indeed. We've had offers of assistance for any future work we want to do, which is much valued. And mustn't miss thanking our sponsors. You know, we had quite a number of people help fund and support us during the course of producing these so far. So obviously part of phase 2 is going to be going back to some of those funders and looking at other sources and saying, well, you know, can you help us move on? And I think the enthusiasm from our funders was exceptional. We were very gratified by that. So
a lot of these grassroots projects, if you like, they do struggle for funding, don't they? And I think there's a lot more that we can do in that sense. So I think it's important to say that. And then you were talking about the actors and people that put the time, and yourselves, the amount of time you guys have put into it, sitting in meetings in here in the mornings. I've come in and interrupted you a few times. You know, we all do this kind of selflessly, don't we? For the movement. And you were saying on the night that I think in the end there was only actually one actor in the show, wasn't there? Everybody else was from the movement.
Yes.
And that's what made it actually. It made it so personal and so passionate. I think, you know, the emotion coming out from the videos is really, really powerful. Actually,
real people stand. You know, this is everything. They live and breathe this. So it makes sense, doesn't it? And it really came across. Having seen the videos, it really came across. Yeah. But I think on the topic of real people, that provides a good chance to sort of segue into maybe showing the audience one of the clips or a portion of some of the clip, and then we'll come back right after.
This week on Changing Lives, we catch up with Annie from East Kilbride.
Whether we're storing the energy for our people or exporting our surpluses for businesses and to make money, Scotland's renewable energy sector is thriving. We're creating a new energy, a cleaner, greener energy that doesn't come at the cost of our oceans or pollute the atmosphere at the back of some exhaust pipe.
Annie is helping to lead the planet in the development, construction and operation of renewable technologies designed to take advantage of Scotland's vast tidal, wind and solar resources. These have the potential to dwarf oil and gas and to transform Scottish society, including how we travel. Sean Harris, Scottish Vision, Ayrshire.
So already we're seeing quite a geographical spread of clips, although mainly in the central belt. Is there any plans to sort of expand that? You know, Scotland's diverse. Is there any plans to expand that beyond?
Oh,
Definitely, yeah, yeah, hit the nail on the head. Yeah, I think one of the things that would make that second phase of this really powerful is actually to go to places and speak to the local people and find out what they would like to see in their independent Scotland. So maybe to the islands, definitely up to the Highlands, down to the borders, you know, Scotland wide.
Yeah,
we would love
yeah,
to do that. Yeah.
So if you're in Glasgow or Edinburgh or anywhere nearby, get in touch.
You've not went very far there.
What's that?
Glasgow, Edinburgh.
It's in the central belt.
Aye, well that's so far. Aye,
So, you know, we can start in Glasgow.
That's as far as you go, isn't it? Just the central
If
belt.
we had a yellow submarine, we could have maybe went somewhere else. But no, I think it's great. The more people you speak to, the
I think if it's okay for me to appeal directly to other Yes Hubs or organisations watching this, I would say we're very anxious to not be we're restricted to the central belt on this occasion because of funding and because of the availability of people. Now we've got better contacts with Yes Hubs around Scotland. We'd love you to volunteer to work with us and produce something spot on for your area of Scotland.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're also conscious that our demographic in the first series of clips was pretty restricted again because of what we wanted to do in the time available and with the people available. We'd like to expand that as well.
Yeah, I think you did a great job considering what you said, Joyce, that you could have picked from 100 different ideas, but you had to whittle it down to 7. So obviously, I think there's going to be a few more future Voices episodes.
Really excited about that sort of next phase as well, because
Definitely.
like one of the big draws to Scotland and the fact that it's so amazing is the fact that it's so diverse, both demographically and geographically. And you know, you get that sense sort of, I hate to allude to it, but you know at New Year, when you get the sort of New Year's countdown and it shows you when you're sort of travelling around Scotland, sort of the same sort of feeling, you realise, oh, there's people up in the Highlands who have a different way of life, but it's a Scottish way of life. It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I really am looking forward to that sort of being tapped into.
Shared values and things.
Yeah.
And actually, do you know, it's really good fun being part of it as well. I don't know, maybe sort of going ahead here, but to start with the project, we were supposed to have a pilot video produced with an unknown actor for us, but the actor didn't manage to turn up on the day, so I ended up being the actor on the day, and you know, it was brilliant. I just loved it. It was really good. So I appear in one of the clips. So
Excellent.
The videographer chap we worked with has a superb process. He's helped us with scripts. It makes it very easy for people to participate, and that's where we found it was easy to use and work with enthusiastic, committed indie people rather than paid actors. And that's the way we're certainly going forward in stage 2. And again, looking for local groups to put people forward that might be prepared to do that. And I think we'll be successful when folks see what we've done already.
Well, I can certainly say, and I know Camille will agree, that the finished product was fantastic and you should be really proud of yourself. Great achievement. You were part of the team as well, weren't you, Camille?
Yeah, I've limited role. I mean, not as much. I've seen the amount of effort you both put in. It was genuinely a full-time job for you guys.
Thank you from us all, and I'd like to shake your hand, and I want to hold your hand for the
friend there.
And thanks for coming along and supporting us as well at the Yes in the City show. Working with different groups and different projects, that's what we're all about. So.
We're proud. I mean, it feels at times like there are other active indie hubs around Scotland. Inverness, for example, is pretty much driving the chain of freedom. But Dunfermline and West Fife, we feel, is getting pretty cutting edge these days in terms of motivating the movement with your show, and we think Future Voices is something new for the movement as well. So I think we should be very proud of ourselves here in Dunfermline and West Fife.
Definitely. People are talking about us when we go about it. There's definitely a positive feeling in Dunfermline. So. Onwards to independence.
Yes, indeed. One clip at a time.
Yeah, exactly. So that's everything. So big thanks to Ian and Joyce for joining us today. Did you want to add anything else?
No, just thanks for joining us and watching along as well. And we'll be back again with some more episodes, some more content, whilst Dunfermline continues to push ahead at the very forefront of independence content.
So hello and goodbye from us.
Oh God.
This is your chance to see the citizens and hear the citizens of a future independent Scotland.
This is Scotland as we would all want it to be, the Scotland that we dream of, the Scotland we work very hard for. Check out all our clips on our YouTube channel. It's inspiring, it's exciting, and it speaks to everybody right across the independence movement.
So it's called Future Voices, and you can make this happen.